Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji had both reached the soul transformation stage. This world can no longer sustain their power. If they stay too long, this world will surely collapse. Their presence will cause droughts, scorching heat, extreme cold, or extreme heat, and even earthquakes and tornadoes. They won't be the benevolent immortals who bring good fortune anymore, but they will become bringers of disaster. They need to leave as soon as possible. Wei Wuxian returned to the palace with long arrangement. They said their goodbyes to Emperor Qin. It's time for them to go. Emperor Qin knew that Lan Wangji and Wei Ying were leaving, along with Wen Ning and Lan Wangji, and the ghost immortals would surely follow. Emperor Qin also knew that without the ghost immortals' help, he would lose a significant amount of power, but it wouldn't severely weaken him. He was a man with great foresight and strategy, so he began training his royal guards early on. He generously shared cultivation techniques, ensuring these guards could one day take over the ghost immortals' duties. Emperor Qin didn't expect this day to come so soon, though he regretted that his youngest son wouldn't see the unified world. The first emperor smiled and blessed them. They are heading to a higher realm, though he understood after his cultivation that no such realm governed by element gods existed, and of the heavens. But he knew it must be a higher realm. In that world, people had profound cultivation, able to control the weather with ease, easily achieve immortality. Once he unifies the world, passes the kingdom to his son, he will devote himself to cultivation, and one day, he will follow in his youngest son's footsteps to the higher realm, saying farewell to the king of Qin. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji took off with Wen Ning and Xiuluo, heading out to sea. This was where they first landed in this world. The Wen family members had already entered a special magical artifact. They were now inside an ancient bracelet on Xiuluo's wrist. Lan Wangji knew the place where they arrived had a weaker world barrier, so this is the best place to tear through the wood and cross over. Moreover, it's far from the mainland. Even if something goes wrong, it shouldn't affect the people on the mainland. They arrived at the island where the sea and the island. Wei Wuxian immediately sensed the weakest point in the world barrier. If he and Lan Zhang focus their power, they can tear through the wood. By targeting a specific spot, enter another world. Lan Wangji doesn't want to be separated from Wei Wuxian, but he can't guarantee they won't get separated. Last time, Wen Ning used his iron chain to keep everyone together. Over the years, Wei Wuxian has added many valuable materials and refined it repeatedly. It's now a very powerful magical artifact. It should keep everyone together, preventing loss. They came prepared, arriving as 3 people, but left as a group of 4, with a ghost. Chained together, the 4 started to move. Wei Wuxian, Lan Wangji, and the grown-up Wen Ning. The 3 gathered their energy and struck a point in the air with all their might. They expected this blow to create a rift in the air, but nothing happened after the strike. Suddenly, a black dot appeared before them. In an instant, the black dot turned into a massive black hole. It swallowed them like a giant beast. When Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian and the others regained consciousness, they found themselves in a strange place. Lan Wangji was the first to wake up, and once awake, she quickly reacted and got up to check the situation. Seeing everyone was still there, she sighed with relief and gently woke Wei Ying. Lan Wangji quickly picked Wei Ying up, and soon, Wei Ying also opened his eyes. Lan Zhang, what happened to me? We're soul transformation cultivators, after all. How could we just faint like that? Wei Ying woke up and immediately checked his condition. Lan Wangji also checked on Lan Zhang and Wen Ning. It seemed they had fallen asleep, and Lan Wangji gently called out a few times. They woke up. After all 4 were awake, Lan Ji checked his bracelet again. He saw that the family members were still practicing diligently. They had no idea what had happened outside. He let out a sigh of relief. After everyone was fine, The group then began to examine their situation. How to describe it? It didn't seem like they had arrived in any higher realm. At that moment, they found themselves surrounded by emptiness, with no sky in sight, no ground below, only what looked like the Milky Way stretching before them. Countless stars were shimmering. Where are we? This is so weird. Did we take the wrong path? Wei Wuxian spoke up. We're supposed to be going to a higher realm that can handle our power, not just to see the stars. Lan Wangji's gaze turned to the distant stars. For some reason, a strange feeling welled up inside him. With the thought, one of the stars suddenly grew larger and flew toward them. Up close, it looked like the stars transformed into a massive bubble. But the bubble wasn't beautiful, it felt dark and oppressive. Out of curiosity, Wei Wuxian reached out to touch the enormous bubble of stars, wondering what it was. In the next moment, the mist on the bubble's surface dissipated. Vivid scenes began to appear inside the bubble. Wei Wuxian had initially taken a casual glance, but then it drew his gaze. He saw a young woman with fierce determination descending the mountain. She vowed to punish the wicked and rid the world of evil. After coming down the mountain, he met the one he loved. They shared the same values and soon had a child. But their son was barely 4 years old when the couple was betrayed and murdered by an evil person. They left behind a helpless child struggling to survive. Wei Wuxian looked at the child. He knew clearly it was him, but he didn't know his childhood wandering had such a grim truth. Seeing himself take the enemy for his father, risking his life for that family, he gave it all. He left no trace in the end. He saw how Lan Wangji saved him, defying everyone through countless lives and deaths, always standing firm, protecting him. He saw Lan Zhang being beaten to within an inch of his life. He saw him, badly injured, bring back Ao Yuan. Ao Yuan's call gave him the strength to survive. But this world is a bit different, because he was reborn as the Emperor's prince after he died. This bubble world is a bit different. His soul didn't reincarnate. Instead, it returned 14 years later, possessed by another, under the secret guidance of a certain sect leader, who is a bit of a mix-up. Wei Wuxian and Lan Zhang worked together to investigate the truth, step by step. Of course, the journey was chaotic, just like Wei Wuxian. But it all ended well. Wei Wuxian was touched by Lan Zhang's sincerity. In the end, they came together. Lan Wangji gently touched Wei Yin's head, but I had a dream earlier. Wei Wuxian tilted his head curiously. Lan Wangji sighed. Actually, Xizhui went to an old family manor, and someone did try spirit possession, but it didn't work. Later, I had a dream that was exactly like this. Lan Zhang spoke calmly, but Wei Wuxian's heart ached upon hearing this. Wei Wuxian felt a pang of heartache. He knew how Lan Zhang felt about him. That repressed emotion is a volcano hidden beneath the ice. He couldn't bear to imagine, in his dreams, experiencing the loss and regaining of everything. In the dream, when he woke up, realizing it was all just a dream, how devastated must Lan Zhang have been. Wei Wuxian's eyes welled up. He threw himself into Lan Zhang's arms. Lan Zhang, I'm here. I'll never leave you. Wei Wuxian suddenly made a move. He pressed his brow against Lan Zhang's forehead. Then, from his primordial spirit in Shihai, he separated his emotional essence. His emotional essence, full of thoughts of Lan Zhang, was about to enter Lan Zhang's Shihai. It joyfully merged into Lan Zhang's primordial spirit. Lan Wangji was puzzled. He wasn't sure what Wei Yin was up to, but that didn't stop him from acting. Seeing Wei Yin separate his emotional essence, he didn't hesitate. He separated his own as well, and he merged it into Wei Yin's sea of memories. On a whim, they exchanged their emotional essences. They pulled apart slightly. Lan Wangji clasped Wei Yin's shoulders, his tone full of questions. Wei Yin. Wei Wuxian smiled. He grabbed Lan Wangji's wrist. Lan Zhang, I'm so happy. My heart is with you. I'll never love anyone else. He looked up at the starry sky. No matter what happens in our future, I never want to leave you. Even if we're separated one day. Even if I forget you one day. But my heart will lead me back to you, for no other reason. Because you are my eternal love. Lan Wangji held Wei Yin in his arms, mood. She's always known Wei Yin loves her. She's also aware of her emptiness. And she knows her fear. She told Wei Yin about a dream she had. This time, Wei Yin immediately sensed the inner demon she was hiding. That's why they exchanged their emotional essences. Lan Wangji and Wei Yin have an incredible rapport. Even if he didn't immediately understand her intention, he still mirrored her action right away. This is the result of years on their journey of unspoken understanding, isn't it? Wen Ning and Lan Wangji were once again forced to witness the couple's PDA. Neither of them batted an eye. Over the years, they've gotten used to the couple's unwavering love. They're always showing off their love everywhere. Ever since they got together, they haven't gone hungry since. Lan Wangji looked down and saw a huge bubble below them. He instinctively leaned in to see. The bubble moved closer. Lan Wangji saw the scene inside the bubble. It turns out this bubble is the world they once inhabited. After they left, Emperor Qin continued to strive for his goals. It took him 50 years to unify the entire world. He made everyone in this world speak the same language and use the same writing system. Emperor Qin couldn't dedicate himself to cultivation. Despite his nation's prosperity and kingdom's profound aura, his cultivation reached the golden core stage. But then it became extremely sluggish. Although he is a golden core cultivator, he has also survived several heavenly tribulations. A golden core cultivator can live for 300 years. So even 50 years later, he still looks like a middle-aged man. The court ministers have been replaced a few times. Xiuluo's grandson has started learning to attend court and handle official duties. Xiuluo, who learned cultivation from Emperor Qin, has caught up with his father's progress, driven by his obsession. After Emperor Qin unified the world, he finally let go of his inner resolve. A sudden enlightenment welcomed the primordial heavenly tribulation. After the heavenly tribulation, Emperor Qin's appearance was reversed, from that of a middle-aged man to that of a teenager, around 17 or 18, standing before his great-grandson. He looked more like a brother. His cultivation at its peak. He no longer cared as much about power, and his goal in unifying the world wasn't to gain power. After managing state affairs with his great-grandson, a few years later, Emperor Qin voluntarily abdicated to his great-grandson, Xiuluo. Later, Emperor Qin went to Mount Kunlun, founded a sect, and took in many disciples. He accepted those with wisdom and a karmic connection, guiding them into cultivation. The great Qin clan became a family protected by the Kunlun sect's cultivators. For generations, Kunlun sect disciples would also serve as guardians of the royal family. Each subsequent emperor would eventually join the Kunlun sect to cultivate. After unifying the world, this realm received an upgrade. So, Emperor Qin couldn't leave after reaching the spirit transformation stage, but it took centuries of cultivation before he achieved great mastery. Only then did he overcome the heavenly tribulation and ascend to a higher realm. After they watched Emperor Qin's fate from their world, everyone fell silent. After a moment, Wei Wuxian spoke up. Have we come to the wrong place? Wen Ning and Lan Wangji nodded in agreement. Lan Wangji, frowning, said to Wei Yin, sense the environment. It seems we can return to our world. Lan Wangji pointed to the world they came from. The realm has been upgraded. They can return if they want, with their current cultivation. Wei Wuxian checked it out. Yeah, we can go back. But he shook his head after thinking it over. Let's not go back. There's nothing tying us here anymore. And it feels pretty embarrassing to return. After leaving in such a hasty way, returning in defeat would be so shameful. Wei Wuxian gritted his teeth and gave up. Let's go to another world. CJ gazed at the star-filled sky. So, which world are we heading to? Let's take our time and choose. We can't risk a low-level world. They could make the world fall apart. Some demon and magic worlds are out of the question too. The group kept zooming in to check out different worlds. But they got overwhelmed and couldn't decide which one to pick. Finally, Wei Wuxian took a deep breath and said, since we've made it this far, this is our destiny. I say we don't waste time. Let's go to the biggest, top-level world. Wei Wuxian is talking about a world above them. Other worlds look like a sky full of stars. But above them, the sun shines brightly. They've also curiously checked out this world. How do I put it? Even a blade of grass could be a 1,000-year-old monster. Powerful and formidable races are everywhere. The law of the jungle is on full display in this world. Wei Yin's proposal to visit the world above is truly tempting. Those who aim high are drawn to it. The greater the danger, the greater the opportunity. In such a world, they're just minnows. After Wei Yin's suggestion, no one spoke. They've been together for so long. And they knew each other so well. Everyone had a clear idea in mind. They all wanted to reach the highest realm. A natural human ambition. Rather than ascend to a higher realm like Honghuang. It would be better to reach the peak in one go. Everyone agreed. Their cultivation was insignificant in this world. They couldn't even afford the cost to enter this world. But they are cultivators. And once they set their minds on a goal, they won't hesitate. Despite their many concerns, they are still willing to take the risk. Initially, to prevent any unexpected issues, they were supposed to make some preparations, but, on second thought, there wasn't much to prepare. Even if they were separated, Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji had already exchanged their emotional essences. The emotional essences in their primordial spirits would surely find each other. After making the necessary preparations, they flew together into this world. Wen Ning's iron chains reconnect the group, preventing them from getting lost. This isn't an ordinary world, it's the primordial world. Knowing nothing of the primordial world, they boldly charged in without a care. This time, Wen Ning's iron chains failed. As they approached the primordial world, they were pulled into a black hole. Wen Ning's iron chains, damaged, pulled back. The group lost consciousness upon entering the void, and scattered. After they left, a figure appeared in the strange place they had been. So many people have been here. Only the purest souls can enter here. So how did so many people end up here together? Where did they go? Zizi actually went to the primordial world to seek his fortune. The primordial world is vast. Even those who have lived for tens of thousands of years, elders, may not know just how vast it truly is. The primordial world is a dangerous place, brimming with countless opportunities. You could go from an insignificant insect to a powerful lord in an instant. Or a dominant ruler could be, and in a heartbeat, meet their end and fade into obscurity, ending up as just a story for others. Creatures in the primordial world face each day with fear and trembling. Amidst such a harsh environment, there are still some peaceful places. These peaceful places usually exist under the protection of a powerful figure. In the eastern primordial world, a forest called Xiuluo Ridge. It is said a formidable Xiuluo resides here. The outer perimeter of Xiuluo Ridge is shrouded in murderous qi. Ordinary beings who enter are injured by the murderous qi. The outer area of Xiuluo Ridge is filled with bloodthirsty vines. These are very terrifying magical vines. Any being that enters its hunting range will be attacked by countless vines and eventually ensnared. The vines drain every last drop of blood. Their bodies are dragged underground and turned into fertilizer. Even more terrifying is, these bloodthirsty vines thrive within murderous qi, thriving in its range. They are far more dangerous than ordinary bloodthirsty vines. That's why outsiders rarely venture into Xiuluo Ridge. Some say that if you can't navigate the ground, you can fly above it. Those who say this are naive. In the primordial world, the most dangerous place isn't the ground, but the sky. To fly through the sky without a care, you need the power of a golden immortal or higher. Even immortals only fly in familiar skies. They wouldn't dare to fly recklessly in unknown areas, because no one can predict when a sky predator might suddenly appear, or swarms of flying creatures covering the sky. While others see it as a demon's lair, the inside of Xiuluo Ridge is now a heavenly paradise. The terrifying lethal aura forms a thick protective barrier outside. The internal immortal aura is thick. You see young men in green clothes and red sashes walking among it, or dancing gracefully, or singing loudly, all looking at ease. Sis, please come and take a look, sis. The little golden lotus has bloomed. A girl in a red dress sits on a swing. She's weaving a small flower basket when she hears a voice. She lifts her head. Really? Let's go check it out. As she speaks, she leaps up. Petals of all colors fall from her clothes. Like a shower of flowers. This is a beautiful female flower, a lovely spirit maiden. Her true form is a red flower, beautiful female flower. So she often wears vibrant red dresses. She's the top dog in Warm Spring Valley. Warm Spring Valley is within Xiuluo Ridge. Their guardian, Wen Ning, is a highly formidable Asura. Asuras are aggressive, with incredible combat strength. And tough bodies. It's said that high-ranking Asuras are nearly invincible. Unless you can obliterate him instantly. He can always rise again. That's why the Asura took over this part of Xiuluo Ridge. No one dares to challenge him for it. Xiuluo Ridge doesn't seem to have much worth. So why provoke an Asura? People outside have no idea. Hidden within Xiuluo Ridge is the bone of warmth. Countless divine herbs and spirits thrive within. Many sought-after divine herbs live freely here. Since it's called Wen Valley, most of the herbs adopt the surname Wen after transforming. Their leader also has the surname Wen. Wangxian, in a red robe, flew to the center of the spirit spring. Many flowers and plants have already gathered here. Move aside. I'll take a look, Sister Qin. You're here. Check it out. The little golden lotus is blooming. Wangxian's gentle gaze focused on the center of the eye. There, a radiant golden lotus was slowly unfurling its petals. Everyone craned their necks. Their eyes were fixed on the flower's center. Wangxian flew over to the lotus. Maybe to avoid startling the lotus, as she flew closer. She gradually shrunk. When she reached the lotus, she was only the size of a hand. Flying over the golden lotus, she sees the center of the golden lotus hasn't fully opened. But through the petals, she can see the center of the flower, where a small figure is curled up. Little golden lotus, wake up. When Qin leans in, Jin Lian calls out softly. The golden lotus is no longer moving. We have to wait until she fully wakes up to open the petals completely. Wei Yin hears a call. She instinctively stretches, feeling refreshed from her nap, and opens her eyes. But the light is dim. She wanted a clearer view. The obstruction cleared. To everyone's eyes, the elder sister called out a few times, and the little golden lotus blossomed fully. Wei Yin looked forward and saw a girl in red flying overhead. Looking at her with concern, he waved instinctively. Hello, sister. I'm Wei Yin. Who are you? Everyone was taken aback, though they're meant to name themselves at birth. It's impressive you had a name right after waking up. In the heart of the golden lotus, there's a tiny person, no bigger than half a palm. She sits at the center, smiling as she greets Wangxian. She recognizes Wangxian's aura. Noticing her red dress, Wei Yin shivers. Seeming to remember he's still naked, he focuses his thoughts. And a red outfit similar to Wangxian's appears on him. Wei Yin flies up, circles around Wangxian, and then recalls. You're the beautiful flower spirit, my big sister. Over the years, even though his consciousness was asleep, he could still sense everything around him. Since he regained consciousness, he's been living next to the beautiful flower spirit. How could he not know? Wangxian nodded. MMHM. I'm Wangxian, little golden lotus. You finally woken up. Big sister, please call me all in. Shao Wei Yin flew up. She cast a spell on herself. Her body vanished before everyone's eyes. One type can only be planted in one place and can't move. These plants are considered ordinary immortal quality. Another type can move around with its body. This type of grass is called sacred quality. In the stone sea of Wei Yin, a golden lotus, rooted in the stone sea, slowly spread its form. The surrounding immortal grasses cast envious glances at it. In the warm valley, there are hundreds of fresh herbs and flowers, but only a few dozen sacred quality immortal herbs. Unbound by their physical forms, they are far more powerful than ordinary immortals. But the little golden lotus has just awakened. She hasn't yet been cleansed by heavenly lightning. so she's still a youngling and can change her form at will. Seeing that Wei Yin had put away his physical form, Wenqing flew back to the shore and returned to her normal size. Now it's Wei Yin's turn to be envious. Wow, you're so big. I wish I could grow up too. It's tough being a princess doll, even though I look like an adult. But even at this size, she's still adorable. Too bad the flowers and plants can't see how handsome Wei Yin is. They just think she's so cute. They all treat her like a doll and tease her. The princess doll perches on Wenqing's shoulder. Sister, where do you live? Wenqing doesn't mind Wei Yin perched on her shoulder. To her, Wei Yin is her little brother. Even though they're different species, they've grown up together for centuries. So they're as close as family. We live with Grandma. Grandma is a 1,000-year-old wisteria. She weaves a house from her flowering vines. Many flowers and plants live there with us. Wei Yin blinked. He knows the difference between immortal quality and sacred quality, and asked, puzzled, don't they stay by their roots? Don't worry, Wenqigu is safe. Wen Ning is protecting us. Oh. Wei Yin knew Wen Ning protected everyone. Her memories include the years in the spirit spring, growing alongside the beautiful creatures. And there are memories of people coming around more over time, frequently visiting her. When Wen Ning came to visit, she was mostly asleep. But hearing that name, she felt very reassured. She knew Wen Ning would protect everyone well. They soon arrived at a house woven from wisteria branches. The house wasn't big, but it had many rooms. Of course, Wenqing can't enter in her current size. Everyone had shrunk to palm size and flew through the door. To the tiny fairies, the room looked huge. It was like a massive city to them. Wenqing took Wei Yin to her home. The empty house next door was already set up, perfect for Wei Yin to stay in. They hadn't been in the house long when many people came over, especially those who hadn't seen Wei Yin wake up. They also came to see Wei Yin. Everyone brought gifts for her. There are beautiful clothes, everyday items, and some sparkling gems. However, these items are tiny and can only be used in this room by the current Wei Yin. It's probably because they thought large items wouldn't be suitable for Wei Yin. I guess after Wei Yin survives the heavenly tribulation, she will be able to change her size and transform. Everyone will give her another set of gifts. They form a large family. Everyone has gone through manifestation and transformation this way. This is a common experience. Plant spirits are a relatively weak species, so they should stick together even more. Now, Wei Yin is the same size as everyone else. And those who hadn't noticed her small face before. Up close, I see how good-looking Wei Yin is. Slender and graceful, with a delicate waist. In a red outfit, his face is as smooth and fair as jade. His handsome face and almond-shaped eyes seem to speak volumes with a single glance. The young girls were all looking at Wei Yin's face and couldn't help but be entranced. Wenqing tugged at Wei Yin's sleeve. Yin, look how popular you are. Everyone really likes you. Wei Yin tilted his head. No, I can't. I already have someone I like. I won't like anyone else. Wenqing looks puzzled. Who? You've been sleeping. It couldn't be Wen Ning, could it? He often visits you, or someone else. Wei Yin looks confused. It's definitely not Wen Ning. So who is it? I don't know. Wenqing rolls her eyes. You don't know who he is? Well, he must be from the Seven Stars Valley. We'll find him eventually. Wei Yin says nothing. She knew he wouldn't be found here. His memories were scarce. Among the people he knew, there was Wenqing, and the flowers and plants that often visited him. But his gut feeling told him that none of them were the one he cared about. He didn't know who this person was or where they were, but he knew there was someone, and as soon as he saw them, he would know they were the one. A brief meeting surpassing a lifetime of earthly encounters. Because of Jin Lian's awakening, everyone threw a party for Wei Yin. All the flowers and plants were flying in the wisteria city, dancing and singing. Wei Yin smiled the whole time. In her memory, she only had peaceful moments of staying in the spirit spring, growing scenes. Not far away, only Wenqing was with her. Later, more and more people gathered. Wenqing also left her spot and could fly around freely. Though he didn't want to move, he still envied those who could move freely. He's been so carefree these years. He always feels a bit drained. Over the years, he's slept more. As if his soul is incomplete. He never woke up or manifested. Because he felt his soul was incomplete. But no matter how many times he checked, his soul and spirit were completely fine. Only when he could no longer avoid it, did he finally bloom and manifest. As one of the few sacred quality prophets in Wanqigo, his appearance brought joy to everyone. Most women titles are skilled prophets, despite being protected by the Azuras. But these creatures still feel very insecure. It's not that they don't trust Wen Ning. It's just that no matter how powerful others are, only when they have enough strength themselves can they live confidently. Wen Ning has always protected them. He has never asked for anything in return. But who can guarantee that Wen Ning will always be there for them? Only when they gain strength do they feel more assured.